So as you can see here, a fair few of them have quests. Not all of them, though. Here's Lucid.
Yes, Wakener.
You think me mad, do you? Yes. Yes, perhaps a little. You see, after 877 years of quietude, the desire to breathe does not go away. Perhaps something went wrong with my encasement. Perhaps it was my preternaturally keen intellect. Whatever the cause, I was fully aware of the passage of time during my years in Amber. After 78 years, I stopped trying to escape. Kept my mind sharp by creating and solving puzzles. The Amber took care of the rest of my body. But my sanity? No, I cannot say with good confidence that it survived intact.
We are done.
Silent lucidity. Keep the mind open, aware. The opportunities. Exploit them. Certain class spells and abilities only incur a 0.5-second cooldown. Your spells and abilities have a 25% chance to trigger it. It can occur more than once every 8 seconds. That is nice. That is insane for personal damage. But it does mean you don't get this guy descending and fucking up groups. So it's kind of a trade-off. I just don't know what class abilities are affected by it, you know? We'll hold on to it. I'm sure I'll do more quests here soon and we can find out. So let's do this quest. Your arrival is timely, Wakener. A ritual's underway. The council is in harmony, Wakener. A ritual will bring about the demise of the Empress and allow us to secure the future of a great empire. Behold the power of the galaxy. You know, if you could do that, then why did I have to go out and wake up your heroes if this is all you have to do? Because it's not like they're part of the ritual.
Death to all who dare challenge my empire.
Oh, Jesus.
Such is the fate of those who question authority.
Some of the fires just popped. This guy got afflicted.
Speak.
Been on my honor to sacrifice myself for what I believe.
Much has changed. You
I wonder what, like, the man did have to swarm, survive to become a full thinking being, but why? Like, what, and you know, how does that work? I've heard of your heroism, Locust. They say your raids on Mogul labor camps and farmlands delayed the completion of the wall by decades. I cannot argue with results, but how can a proud warrior of the swarm make his name chasing down fleeing peasants and farmhands? Easily. Don't have to leap as far between kills.
Yes, Wakener.
So he's the proud warrior type. Probably will fight civvies, but it's not his aim. This guy, yeah, he's perfectly happy to do so. We are undone, Wakener. Your efforts appear to have become imperative to our cause. On behalf of the remaining council, I implore to continue in your assistance. Scarlet Belt just got replaced. wasn't actually heroic gear, it was just a quest in a dungeon, so not that much of a replacement. Clean up on all 5. Ooh, and this is shod too. Wait, do I have any other quests to turn in? Just that one. I'll just head back to Stormwind, see what's there. Oh. Oh yeah, I was making a point earlier. Scenarios. There was one here that I wanted to do, though I'm not able to see it right now. You have to fight against, maybe it's because it's not available yet. There was a ton of locked ones. But there was one where you had to aid Mira and her forces against trolls that were gearing up to wreak havoc in Dunbarrow. The other 2 leaders on the Council of Three Hammers did not want to get involved with what Mira was up to, not trusting her, because she's the face of the Dark Irons, the leader of the Dark Irons, and there's an ancestral grudge. But they learned because if she did good here, she's actually on the level. But here's the thing, the Dark Irons have never paid any sort of restitution for taking Bronzebeards or Wildhammers as slaves, torturing them, and then bringing them back to life to torture them more as a skeleton. Locking them in the fucking ground cage so they can stand above them laughing at them as they're rotting in the fucking ground. Setting them into walls. And the cages did not have doors on them. They were imprisoned there. They would have had to literally cut the bars off to let them out. The Dark Irons never paid any form of restitution. Mira just swanned into Ironforge and expected to sit on the throne there. She has not given a single shit about what the Dark Irons did or got up to. She doesn't give a single shit about the sins they've committed against the Bronzebeards or the Wildhammers. She's just an entitled piece of shit who expects stuff given to her no matter what she does. She's a completely terrible person. Ragnaros did nothing wrong. The only good Dark Iron is a dead Dark Iron. I talked about this before. Look up my video outright called Ragnaros did nothing wrong. I stand by what I said in that video.
Greetings. Safe travels.
I think I might try and I'm going to do some silent auctions. That way, because I feel more stopping and starting coming on. So, I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you join me again soon. If there's anything at all you'd like to tell me, please let me know in the comment section below. Again, if you want to know my opinions on the Dark Irons, let me, well, not let me know. Go check out that season discovery video called Ragnaros Did Nothing Wrong. I spent like 30 minutes bitching about them and my contempt for them. It just, like, as a, Blizzard's handling of them is terrible. Dark Irons are historical enemies of the Bronzebeards and the Wild Hunters. Alright. They've done terrible things even in recent times to both factions. Alright. Mira swans into Ironforge and expects to lead the place, the others to resist justifiably. Blizzard proceeds to forget about their sins and act as if they're just being unfair to her, and really should just cop on. Not good. I wonder if they have just forgotten what the Dark Irons did, or is it because their face is female, did they just give them a pass on it all? Blizzard has been saying that they, want. I remember back in Wrath, they were saying that they wanted to do more with their female characters, and then the stories they did with Yiro and Jaina in BFA were shit. And I've been very much of the opinion that if they want to do more with their female characters, and that's what they want to do with them, maybe they should go back to not doing anything with them. It would be a step up. With Euro, they got to the middle of her storyline, so her storyline didn't really make sense. And then in Jaina's case, she does sweet FA, but gets the credit for all the work we do, and is made Grand Admiral. She went through a redemption quest with actual no redemption. Because that's what happened for the people of Terramore hated Jaina's guts. They hated her guts, and honestly, in that cutscene where you go to, not Terramore, Coltiris, when you go to Coltiris and she's going through the streets, it looks like the people are gonna fucking lynch her if she wasn't dragged off to jail with us. If she wasn't dragged off to jail, they were gonna fucking lynch her. Grand Archmage or not, they were gonna fucking lynch her in the streets. The fact that she was dragged off to prison is the only reason she wasn't attacked. So, sorry, my mind's wandering here. Intrusive thoughts, OCD. It's a terrible time. But the fact that she was dragged off the prison was the only reason she wasn't lynched in the fucking streets, Archmage or not. They hated her that much for being the witch that sided with the Horde against her beloved Grand Admiral. She did sweet FA in BFA before being named Grand Admiral. She rescued her brother and brought back the fleet. Oh, whoopee. You still killed your father. You still they're the treacherous whore that's, sided with the Horde. It makes no sense for them to suddenly be fine with her being the leader after, wanting to lynch her, moments prior, and her doing nothing else to earn their respect. I fixed the fucking issues with it in an idea I threw around years ago. You know how they had those little appearances in Belarus, whatever the capital was, of her being among the streets, giving out stuff from the people from Terramore and stuff like this, from when her father died. Really, that stuff should have been sent back years ago, but anyway. Tokens from the family that would have died there to the Horde. Or maybe that was from the bombing. I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't matter. She was giving back stuff, relative stuff to them. That's something, but I feel that will come later, given how they wanted to fucking break a glass bottle and try and shiver with it. It feels like she has to bleed for them first. And I don't mean at their hands. I mean, okay, look at the issues in the north. There's faceless ones attacking. There's Horde attacking. There's the Drost over to the west. Have her deal with those. They made her too powerful in BFA. They made her flatly too powerful in BFA. With the flying ghost, with the flying Dutchman's broadside, they made her way too powerful. Knock that shit off. tone her down. She can be strong, but she's not that strong. It makes it harder to do anything else with her because she's so fucking powerful. Or have her do it, but make it clear that it's an immense ritual and it's like she's pushing herself above and beyond to perform it. It's the kind of thing that she should be unconscious for a week after it, you know? You can do grand things, but at heavy cost. That makes the character cool, but makes them more mortal, which makes it more feasible to do things with. My idea basically being is that she's running herself ragged, trying to defend the people of Coltiris. You know, the Drost are attacking over there, she's out there fighting them. To the point where her mana is drained and she's trying to beat a remaining enemy to death with her staff. She's up fighting the faceless ones. Maybe these are little events that you can join in and help her fight against. Maybe you turn up as she's killing the last one. You get to talk to her a bit, or maybe you just see a bit of conversation between her and the people she saved. And there could be a progress counter one way or the other of you seeing them warm up to her. Maybe even towards the end, assisting her, trying to join in the fight and, you know, fight alongside her. You know? It's a redemption quest. You may have agreed. I think she made a fine choice at Terramore with her father and the Horde. She couldn't side with either of them because she has too much respect for the Horde now to side against them, but she can't bring herself to fight her own father. So she just throws her hands up and walks away. Her father won't listen to her. She's tried to talk him down, but he won't listen. But she can't bring herself to attack her new Horde allies, who she saved the world with. She struck down a demonic invasion at their side. You know, it's she can't do it. It's not a redemption quest in my eyes, but she's come to hate the Horde at BFA's point. She really does hold them in contempt for the bombing of Terramore. You'll see the depth of her hatred here in Pandaria if I do the quests. You see the scourging of Dalaran, of the Horde. She imprisons a variety of Blood Elves and kills others for assisting the Horde. They broke rulings that she put down against Horde assistance. They tried to smuggle an artifact into Pandaria through Dalaran, and she does not respond well. And in BFA. Where am I going with this? I lost my train of thought. But she went back to Coltiris, and she goes on a redemption quest to try and re-earn favor in the eyes of her people, to try and redeem herself. You may agree with what she did at Terramore with regards to her father, but the people Coltiris don't, and it certainly seems like Jaina herself regrets it. Probably partially because of her new contempt for the Horde, how the Horde backstabbed her and betrayed her after what she lost in not siding against them, in just throwing her hands up. She left her father die for nothing. So it's a redemption quest and an atonement for her. But how Blizzard played it, she did no atoning. She did no redemption. We do the work, she got the credit, and it's like, woo, Jaina, you're so cool. And I'll make a dismissive hand-jerking motion here, but she doesn't have the organs. Despite what some fanfic may tell you. Or fan art may tell you. She doesn't have the organs. I don't know how to do dismissive, female masturbation gesture. It doesn't have quite the same effect. It's just like man-child has an oomph, but woman-child it doesn't. There's just too many sounds to it. But So yeah, like they messed up Jaina's storyline in it. You know, I can't quite remember where I was going with this. Um, oh yeah, I was saying that Blizzard aren't great with writing their female characters. And it's just like I wonder with the Dark Irons, did they dismiss the Dark Irons' dark history because they just forgot about it and is their questionable writing in general acting up, or is it because the face of the Dark Irons is a woman and they don't want her paying for things she's now responsible for as the leader of the Dark Irons? Um, like they botched up two other female character storylines. What's a third? But again, they're not just bad at writing female characters; they're just kind of bad at writing in general. So yeah. But yeah, and don't worry, folks. I actually do like WoW. I'm just immensely jaded at this point. But I'm just mentally jaded at this point. But yeah, I need to go finish up what I'm doing here so I can go get some sleep. I'm gonna be up early tomorrow. I'm not sure if I said it earlier, but it's Mum's birthday. She's 52. This is gonna be coming out late. Um, so if you do end up wishing happy birthday in the comments, I'll let her know, but it's gonna be quite belated. 31st of August. Um, and who knows when this is coming out. Certainly not 31st of August. Um, I haven't edited. I haven't gotten anything rendered out since. Uh, do you remember the quest I did a new Sephra? Remember the pools with Pandaria here. Uh, the pools of purity here. Yeah, this is the last video I got rendered out. So I haven't done. I haven't reunited with Chen yet. I haven't gone down to do the Imperial Granary, the Silken. The Imperial Granary, the Silken Fields. I haven't made Chen's beer yet. Haven't gone down to brewery. Haven't hit over Stoneplow, the training. Haven't gone up here. Haven't dealt with the Safari. Actually, I have checked footage for over here, but I haven't rendered it out. I've actually started on. I think I've dealt with here, and I've gotten up here to the summit. But I haven't really done much up here, I don't think. I can't remember. I have a bit of a backlog to play with, so I've been trying to get out Quasimorph. But yeah, basically my point was they gutted the middle Euro's question, so hers didn't make full sense. I don't have an issue with the general idea of it, but they need to do more work on hers. They gutted the middle and just try to move on. And with Jaina, it's a redemption quest with no redemption. It's a redemption quest with no redeeming. She gets tortured a bit, and then does one good thing, and she's made Grand Admiral. They needed to have her do more. They needed to have her bleed for it. Have her build up over the expansion to becoming Grand Admiral, you know? I think that would be a better thing than having her be made Grand Admiral at the end of the first. I think it was like it wasn't even the first patch. It was just the base game of BFA. If you did all the quests and did all the grinds, well, did all the quests, she became Grand Admiral right there and then. It wasn't even at patch 1 did she become it. It was base thing of it. I was just slow in doing it. So it's it was rushed. It was flawed. They needed to have her bleed for it. They needed to do more with it, with the redemption quest. She betrayed these people, and she also has to atone for it to herself. That seemed to be what they're going for, but they didn't carry through on it. They just half-assed it. So, with Moira, I could buy that they just no, they half-assed it again because they're not great writers, or they half-assed it because they've just been mishandling the female characters they've been trying to have. Like they try and write one to, like, you know, like Euro was the standout female character in WoD. There was other female characters there, but at least for the Alliance side, she was the standout one. And they bongled her storyline. Jaina was the standout female character on the Alliance side for BFA, and they bungled hers. Moira, she's a standout female character. Well, she's very background, but they're trying to bring her somewhat to the foreground. Female character for Alliance on Kat and Miss Pandaria, and they bungle hers. They make an attempt more with the other like leaders of the dwarves taking issue with her, but then they turn it on, try and turn it back on them that they're being, that they're being blind and, they're being wrongly mistrusting of her despite it being entirely justified. So, yeah, it's... I'm having great difficulty. I'm tired now, so I'm losing my train of thought, and I'm trying to tie back into what I'm saying and having like a synergy and a running team in what I'm saying. But it's hard for me to maintain it when I'm losing focus the whole time. My mind's all over the place, and I'm tired. So it's my bandwidth is just frayed, and I'm better at making these points when I'm writing. I feel anyway. Um, So yeah, they got to the Middle Years quest chain. They got it the redemption from Jaina's redemption thing, and then with Moira, they did have the other two leaders take issue with her just trying to usurp Ironforge. But then they turn that distrust back around on the two because, oh, she's a good one and you should just have trusted her. She's on the level. Yeah, except the fact she's actually the leader of an enemy nation now and has done absolutely zero to redeem their image. In fact, she just asserted that she should own both countries. Unilaterally decided, just personally decided she should own both countries. And she just kind of walked in and flopped her femdick out. And just, it just feels like that scenario in Pandaria is trying to get back the other two characters for daring not to enjoy the image and, slapping it off the throne. So, yeah. I think the point I'm getting at here is Blizzard are questionable writers to begin with, but they keep trying to write these standout female characters. Like there may be a female character, but they're just kind of a general character. But then there's a more of a standout character who is female, and they keep bungling them. They bungle BFA Jaina, they bungle Euro, they bungle Moira, and like I was saying, Blizzard apparently at one point said they want to do more with their female characters as they've been criticized for not doing more with them. But when they try and do more with them like this, they keep fucking them up. They'll be better off if they didn't do it, I do have a blog post up uh, you can find it attached to a BFA thing. I might release a separate video of me doing a reading of it. Um, or maybe I already did. You know, for Janus thing. But part of me is tempted I might do one for Moira as well. Though I need to see more about her. I probably need to do the Dark Iron Allied Race quest and whatnot. Because they may have something in there. I don't know. But, anyway, I'm gonna go get some sleep. I'm sorry for being kind of rambly there. Hope you can tolerate it. I'll probably mark the video as tired rambling. And I'll probably get the most views of any, recent videos before it and after it. So many of my silent auction videos keep getting views and even subscriptions. It's uh, it hurts in a way. It's just like, why is this doing so well and the ones with actual commentary aren't? Is this YouTube trying to send me a message? It feels like it is. Thankfully, I'm illiterate. I'm not gonna listen. I'm not gonna read that. But I'll talk to you next time, folks. I need to finish what I'm doing here. I need to get some sleep. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Till then. But yeah, I'm now, my head's looping again. Basically, the point I was trying to make there is they fucked up Yo's storyline. They fucked up Jaina's storyline. And it feels they fucked up Moira's storyline. Like, there's something you can do there. Moira wants to reclaim her family throne while still representing the Dark Irons. She actually was legitimately in love with the leader of the Dark Irons. And she wants to have the throne for their kid. Alright, you can do something with that. And there's a grudge between, like, the other leaders don't exactly stand for that because of the ancestral grudge. You can do something with that. There is meat there to play with. And the Council of the Three Hammers is a tolerance position of like, fine, like, we won't kill, you're the daughter of the previous king, we won't strike you down despite, being the Dark Iron leader. So fine, we'll leave you here, but we're gonna mitigate your presence by having our own thrones here. I can accept that. But they don't ever. But then here in Pandaria, they instead turn around that, oh, she's on the level and they should just have trusted her. Even though she's done nothing to mitigate the Dark Iron's dire history. Nothing to show that she was on the level. She just swanned in and demanded ownership of Ironforge and of its kingdom. She fully represents and stands for the Dark Irons, who have been enemies of the people of Ironforge and the Wildhammer Dwarves for a long time. And even back in Classic, like I said, had captured, tortured, and resurrected so they could torture them more. Plenty of Wildhammer and Bronzebeard dwarves. She's done nothing about that, to my knowledge. Maybe she did something in the Allied Race quest, but that was years later. So, person over there just got the achievement. But that was years later. It's, she did nothing to redeem their image, but somehow the other two are the bad guys for not giving her the benefit of the doubt. They had no reason to give her the benefit of the doubt. She never acted in any way for them to believe she was on the level. She just swanned in and demanded Ironforge, despite effectively being a traitor to her nation. Oh, you willingly eloped with the leader of our ancestral enemy, who was actively captured and tortured many of her people? I think that would actually, if her father wasn't the doting type, would have flagged her as traitor and enemy of the state. She never made any, effort to seem on the level. Never made any effort to rehabilitate the Dark Iron's perspective. The Dark Irons were still actively attacking the Bronzebeards in Cataclysm, and she was doing nothing to stop them. Maybe it was a rogue element of the Dark Irons, but she was still doing nothing to stop what was now her people from attacking the kingdom she was trying to take over. So it would come off as actions of her own agents, and she's just being very audacious about it. So it just feels like Blizzard is giving her a pass and trying to turn it on to two bad men for not trusting her, when they've given them plenty of reason never to trust her, and even plenty of reason to stab her and throw her into the forge. But yeah. So I'm not sure if it's just general bad Blizzard writing, or if them being extra bad because they're trying to write a female character and have to, play it weirdly. So many people do come off weird when they write female characters. I remember watching one anime, Erased, was it? I can't remember what it was called. Guy sees butterflies and he gets to go back in time and stuff. And they deal with one storyline of girls being abused by her family, and they have to stop the abuse. And they punctuate it with jokes of the mom beating him up. It's like slapping the main guy for, like, she makes a remark and he goes along with it, so she slaps him. It pans away so you don't know the extent of it, but it's just like, wow, funny. You're dealing with this tragic story of child abuse by making jokes about a parent beating her kid for a few words. Kind of ruins the story here, folks. I suppose it's not on the same tier as the other one. She was being like locked out in a shed in the middle of winter and next to nothing, while the other was maybe a singular hit, but it still kind of comes off as immensely tone deaf, and it was one of the weakest parts of it. I kind of lost all respect for the mom. Even after the ending, I still just like, new. Like, there may be a place for that kind of discipline of a kid. There might be a place for it. You can make that argument, but that thing wasn't it. Basically, the main guy had a sleepover with the girl that was being abused, and the mom insisted on sleeping between the two of them. And she made a remark about, like, oh, am I getting in the way? And he said yes. So she took a swing at him. And it's just like, it's such an overreaction, and it just comes off as completely tone deaf and just like, har har har, isn't it funny, a guy getting beaten up by a girl? It's why I can't give like FMA a 10 out of 10, because so much of that story runs on that. Not as bad as Love Hina or something like that, but yeah. I just hate that shit. It's just not funny to me. The characters just come off as shit cunts. It's just not funny to me. That shit always comes off as incredibly mean-spirited. Sometimes I can choke it down and tolerate it, but other times I just can't. But anyway, it's getting late. I've gone on for extra long here. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you join me again soon. If there's anything at all you'd like to tell me, please let me know in the comment section below. But until next time, love and peace, baby.